Ferrari is the only team that has been closer to Red Bull this season. They were on the podium consecutively in the last two races. They must have learned a thing or two for sure. But will that help them close the gap? Let's find out. Hi everyone, this is F1 Sanctum, your home for all things F1. Let's get started. We already know that SF24 has met the team's expectations from its days of development. They are closer to the Red Bull in the qualifying sessions. Leclerc's Q2 time 1 minute and 29.165 seconds in the first F1 race at Bahrain would have gotten him the pole, as Verstappen only set 1 minute and 29.179 seconds in Q3. Leclerc felt had he had access to new softs, he could have beaten Verstappen to pole. In the Saudi Arabian GP, Leclerc qualified second with only 0.3 of a second away from Verstappen. It all shows the car's improvement and the team's development pace. The Ferrari team principal Frederic Vasseur believes there are positives to be taken for the car from the first two races, and this is the development pace they would like to continue. He said, "It is crucial to make improvements that work in the coming weeks. Because continuous improvements are necessary to catch up with Red Bull to the media. Of course, it is crucial to get improvements for the next races, as that is the only way to catch the leading pair Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez." He also thinks the race in Saudi Arabia showed improvement over Bahrain, and that should help the team to keep them motivated to bring better cars to Australia. So yes, Ferrari is bringing an upgrade package to the next race, the Australia GP, but the level of update is not clear. They plan to get their big game to the Imola circuit. This brings us to an interesting question. Who'll get to drive these updates? Carlos Sainz has undergone surgery and was replaced by Oliver Bearman in the Saudi Arabian GP. The Spaniard showed great recovery and appeared in the paddock the same day he was treated, showing dedication and passion for his job. While everyone, including Frederic Vasseur, is optimistic that he'll be cleared to participate in the next race, he must be medically fit and strong to get back into his car. Hope Carlos is doing everything he can to stand strong on his feet. Getting back to the Ferrari's progress and closing the gap to Red Bull, we have seen Ferrari being close to Red Bull in qualifying, but the race days are not the same. This season, if we take the Bahrain GP, the gap from the leading Ferrari of Carlos to Max Verstappen was 25.110 seconds at the end of the race. Whereas in the Saudi Arabian GP, the gap from the leading Ferrari of Leclerc to Max Verstappen was 18.639 seconds. It shows improvement, but a considerable gap too. On that note, let me share with you this interesting fact. Carlos Sainz is the only non-Red Bull driver to win a race in F1 in the last season. Did you know that? This is why Ferrari is trying its best to lift the Formula One title again after more than 15 years under the team principal Frederic Vasseur's leadership. And yes, the answer is not just signing Lewis Hamilton for 2025, but bringing more talent to the team. That is exactly what the team thinks too. They want to improve the overall dynamics of the team. Designer Adrian Newey will be a hell of a catch, but he had recently signed a contract with Red Bull. However, the latest issues with the team principal Christian Horner have raised several questions and risks for the team members, which may lead to unpredicted results that Ferrari or any team will be willing to benefit from. Nevertheless, Ferrari tried to pick up the other engineers when possible. Last year they tried to bring Newey's right-hand man Pierre Watch, but Red Bull stopped it in time. However, from Red Bull, we have seen head of aerodynamics Dan moving to Aston Martin, chief designer Rob Marshall moving to McLaren, and human resources manager Jane Poole to Mercedes. Ferrari will bring people in whenever it can, which is hopeful for the sport. In addition, we have seen Ferrari correcting technical issues with Leclerc's car from the Bahrain GP and placing him on the podium. They played their strategy right and had a decent pit stop in the Saudi Arabian GP. In fact, Ferrari recorded the fastest pit stop in the season opener Bahrain GP, switching from soft to hard tires for Leclerc in 2.23 seconds on lap 11. All these facts point towards Ferrari making efforts to catch Red Bull. This is a good sign for Ferrari tifosi and F1 fans across the globe. However, one can only wait to see how the season unfolds.